Doing a little cooking today with our sun oven. It's an October day, a little bit chilly, but we have sunny skies. This is the All-American sun oven. I've left it preheating out here for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna take a look at the temperature gauge here. Looks like we're at about 300, just maybe below, a hair below 340 degrees. I have a dish over here that we'll be cooking. It's one that we've done before. It's a really easy one, tasty one. We put about a pound of baby carrots in an enamel baking dish, some chicken breasts and about 8 to 10 medium-sized potatoes cut up, and then just cover it with lemon pepper and a little bit of salt. And the great thing with a dish like this, and any meat or vegetable dish really, is that the sun oven operates like a slow cooker. I can leave it out here for 4 or 5 hours while we're away, or we're about to leave the house, and it'll be done at the end of the work day or when you're ready to eat it. Meat will be tender, vegetables will be perfectly done, doesn't get dry or burnt, and so the sun oven is a really convenient way to cook a dish like this. We'll go ahead and put it in and then come back and check it out in 4 or 5 hours. You may have noticed that the sun oven is at quite an angle, and that's because of the time of year. You need to extend it in order to focus it with the sun, align it with the sun properly. And so that's one of the really nice things about the sun oven, both that you can extend like that to get the proper angle, but also that you have the T-bar to help with stability. So you've got these focusing mechanisms on the front. You can see right there how the light shines through, kind of makes a halo around the hole underneath. That tells me that it's aligned with the sun well. For this particular dish, I'm going to intentionally offset it with the sun. I'm going to set the sun oven ahead of the sun. So as the sun continues to travel across the sky, the oven will get hotter and hotter. It'll continue to cook. And so when I put this out in the morning, I usually set it about the halfway point, and as the sun travels across the sky, again, it acts like a slow cooker. Okay, so the casserole dish, the enamel dish, is in the oven. And again, we'll give it 4 or 5 hours. Not that it needs that much time, but we're going to be gone that long. And then we'll come back and take a look. Thought I'd quickly just show you this offset that I've done. So, got some hard water spots on my reflectors. I've got to clean those off, but the sprinklers in the park behind me came on one day recently while I was using my sun oven, and again, I need to clean those off. But I've turned the sun oven ahead of the sun. Again, if it was properly focused, that halo would rest perfectly over the hole at the bottom. Instead, I'm turning it ahead of the sun, and the halo is moving further to the right, and then as the sun continues to pass across the sky, it's going to be perfectly aligned and then continue to pass over. The effect is the temperature goes higher and higher and higher, and then a little lower and lower and lower, but it continues to cook like that slow cooker, and that's what you do with this kind of a dish. Okay, it's been nearly 5 hours since we put the food out here initially. We just got back home. I want to show you this, that one of the nice features of the sun oven, the All-American sun oven that was added several years back, are these holes for tent stakes. Because I needed to tilt the sun oven to a pretty extreme degree, you can see in fact that we have it here on the lowest hole. So the sun oven is raised as much as possible because of the season in order to be angled properly and aligned properly with the sun. I have this heavy enamel pot in there full of potatoes and carrots and onions and chicken, and the leveler keeps it very level, and it's worked great, but I wanted to make sure that a gust of wind didn't push it over, someone didn't bump it and push it over. So just putting in these simple little tent stakes gives me that peace of mind that it's going to stay where I put it. So in a moment we're going to open this thing up and take a look at the food. So you may not be able to see it from there, but the temperature gauge is reading, the thermometer is reading 300 degrees right now. And so it's been about that temperature throughout. You can see some steam coming off here. This leveler as you tilt your Sun oven, it helps to keep your food from spilling. That's the hanging rack that swings. Go ahead and pull this out. Just put it down here for a moment. Chicken, vegetables, potatoes look to all be cooked well. It's cooked through really nicely. All right, well, that's one of the benefits of the Sun oven, being able to leave your food out and slow cook so that when you come home, even in the winter time, it's hot and it's ready to go.